There are many issues with season 5 of The Boys, and I was really hoping that they were eventually gonna address them. But at 2 episodes to the end, it's unlikely they'll ever do, and here's a list of the huge problems. The first one is, what the hell happened to Kessler? One of the biggest plotline of season 4 of The Boys was Butcher going scorched earth. He was really dying from the cancer and feeling the effect, and in the meantime he was having vision and visits from this old friend that he has called Kessler. That was more his dark side, and in the end it's revealed that it's actually the cancer taking a toll on him, and every time he would pass out, Kessler would take over and basically kill whatever he had in front of him that was perceived as a threat. He was so out of it that by the end of season 4 he was really clear on no more compromises, so much so that he decided to take out Newman, which she agreed with Huey to help them deal with Homelander, and she was one of the strongest super we ever seen. She definitely has the strength to take out the Deep, the New Noir, and everybody else apart from Homelander. She would have been a huge asset, much more useful than whatever Starlight ever did or Kimiko. But in season 5, he's back with a new Hawaiian shirt. He has no sign of cancer. He's not even bleeding from his nose anymore. He doesn't have any effect, apparently. And he's working again with Starlight. What happened to no more compromises? This basically contradicts everything that happened in season 4 and especially in the finale, rendering useless. This brings me to number 2. Another big reveal of the end of season 4 was Kimiko actually being able to speak again. She's been always the purest in the group, and because of a troubled past with being trafficked with his brother, she always wanted to do justice and being against violence and oppressors. So you'd think that now she can finally speak, she can express all those stored emotions, especially the love for Frenchie. Unfortunately, in season 5, they just turn her into another joke character, obsessed with porn for some reason, and swearing out of nowhere because she learned apparently her speech from TikTok, which makes absolutely no sense if you actually think about it for 2 seconds. She was a mute, but she was not deaf. She could understand words, and she had constantly people around her talking about it. She already knew the language and the words. She just needed to learn and practice enunciation and how to pronounce them properly, which is a totally separate thing, by the way. This is so insulting to the audience. Like, what were they thinking? It really sounds like some writer in the writing room was like, oh yeah, we're gonna make her talk, we're gonna make her obsessed with porn and like mention TikTok, and the kids will love it. I swear that's the thought process that went into this. Number 3 is Soulja Boy. They made this guy moodier than a schizophrenic with multiple personality disorder. He changes his mind each episode whether to help or to fight Homelander, which goes directly against what has been established in season 3. He has so many flaws, but at least he's loyal to the cause and whatever he agrees with, he's a man of his word. Matter of fact, I was so upset about this that I made a whole separate video about how they ruined the character of Soulja Boy. Number 4 is Sage, probably the biggest fraud character in this season. Up until season 5, her real motivation were quite unclear why she spent years building up the image of Homelander and making him the most powerful man in the country. So I really thought that we will be getting this mind-blowing reveal of the huge plan that she has been cooking in the background. But oh boy. I just want to clarify, she is the smartest person in the Boys universe. Hold on to your chairs, guys. Her whole plan was to organize this huge war between regular humans and supes so she can read books in her bunker while the world burns. What the f-? Let's pause for a second. What the actual fuck? All she ever wanted is just to be left alone and reading books and not be bothered by anybody else. This is so dumb on so many levels. First of all, if she just wanted to be left alone and read books, there are so many other ways she could have gone about it. She didn't even need to help Homelander. We've seen throughout the season that Vought and Homelander, they work mostly in the US and rarely if ever go outside. She could have just moved to someplace else like Australia to read all the books she wanted because she never shown any patriotism or anything that was tying her to the US. The cherry on top was Sage having Ashley actually read Soulja Boy's mind and getting the intel that he's actually a little bit proud of Homelander, but he doesn't want to show it. And despite this information, she plans to use Soulja Boy against Homelander to get the V1 and preventing Homelander from getting immortal. The same guy who indirectly told you that he's actually kinda proud of Homelander, so maybe, just maybe, the plan won't work. And of course it doesn't. Soldier Boy gets the V1 and gives it directly into the hands of Homelander. Unfortunately, a character as smart as they may be, they can only be as smart as the writer. This brings me to number 5, which is power management. It really makes no sense in season 5 how they're managing their powers. Butcher and Starlight keep getting defeated by supes that are obviously weaker than them for no apparent reason. The most clear example is the confrontation between Starlight and Allfather at the church. Just on a physics standpoint, light is faster than sound, so it would be really a no-brainer. Not only that, but counting on the fact that she's surrounded by electricity, Starlight should have never lost that encounter. Without even trying to fly away, by the way, she could have just flown around Allfather and taken him at the back. All this without even mentioning how they did dirty A-Train by showing how he was literally faster than the lasers of Homelander and light itself, and later for Homelander being magically able to catch up with him and for him to be tripped by some human passerby, which makes no sense because for him everything is frozen in time. There is no surprise. That really deserves a video on its own on how they mishandled the Speedster, like A-Train, Shockwave, and even Marathon Man. It makes no sense. He kept running into people for no reason.